Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the Pick and Roll live stream here on the Board YouTube channel, part of the Hammer Betting Network and presented by FanDuel. It's been a great run on the show. We had another winning day yesterday, 0.9 units of profit after going 2-1 with yesterday's plays. Winners on Tobias Harris and Andrew Wiggins, both of which relatively easily. We nearly got a third, but Jalen Wells goes over in the end. That is the only loser, but a winning day, and it is profit on the show in 6 of the last 7 shows that we have done. So it's a fantastic run for the show. We are back on track with the season in the green. So let's keep things going here today and get it going. Make sure you guys do drop a like if you enjoy what you see along the way from the show today. Make sure you're subscribed to the Board YouTube channel for shows like this every weekday morning at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to go through the full slate of NBA games. We'll hear the free picks from Pips. We'll answer some of your questions as well and react to some of your bets. So we're going to jump right into things here as we have been doing lately. We got a bet in the Oklahoma City Thunder game against the Philadelphia 76ers. We bring in Pips. What is the play for this game?
So we are going to bet Isaiah Joe under 12 and a half points, rebounds, and assists.
Right. Isaiah Joe, I'll find what our number is there for points, rebounds, and assists. Minus 120, widely available. Minus 117, also available. Minus 115, also available. But plenty of spots have this one, minus 120. Not up yet at FanDuel, but if you're watching later, maybe check it out over there to see what the price is. But let's see the handicap behind this play, too.
Yeah, this one is Alex Caruso is back for the team, and I don't know if the bookies are aware of it, but if you take a look at the games when Shea, J-Dub, Hartenstein, Dort, and Kayson Wallace and Caruso played, like when they are all healthy, we get this. And if we go just through the games, we can see that he played 21, 14, 17, 18, 19, 18, 16, 18, 19 minutes. So he never played more than 21 minutes and he averaged like 18. So he was on rotation for 18 minutes with all these guys in. And they are all, Caruso is back tonight, so he's back into the rotation. Joe had crazy game against the Knicks and boosted his line, but that game was like he was completely wide open every possession. The Knicks got blown out playing terrible defense, and it got settled to 11 in the last game against the Washington Wizards. Blowout game where he get an extended run, but now he's playing the Thunder. So when he's playing between 14 and 22 minutes, we can see that he's under this line in like 17 out of 24 games in 70% of the games, average 11.3 points, rebounds, and assists. When you look at the threes, he is at 1.5 threes. So even when you take a look, when he scored 0 to 3 threes in the games, because like it's like minus 300 for him to score 3 in this one, or minus 200 for him to score in very juiced on the under on 2.5. And now he's playing a team that doesn't allow many threes. They are allowing 8 least threes in the league. And when you go back to the win rate, he's under this line in 17 out of 21 when he scores from 0 to 3 threes. So without these crazy games when he scored 4 plus in easy matchups against teams that allow a ton of threes, he's under this line in 17 out of 21 games. And when you look at the matchup wise, like they are the best hand of defense. They allow 8 least spot up, and they are average in transition. And lately, guys like Buddy Hield, KCP, Jeff Green, Tim Hardaway Jr. had like crazy low game. Like Hield had only 3 points. Jeff Green. I need to turn this off just a second. Jeff Green had games with 4 points. KCP only 2 and 7 points. Hardaway Jr. had 0 points. So it's tough matchup for like movement shooters against the 76ers who don't allow threes. And there is no Joel Embiid tonight, so no drop coverage. They will be switching a ton with probably Yabusele at the 5, and that will probably be good enough to take away a lot from Isaiah Joe. His points assist is set at 8.5. I could see him even if he scored 2 threes, he's mostly just shooting threes. If even if he can like one transition bucket, it's still 8 points. And when you look at the rebounds and assists, he's under the 4.5 in like 18 out of 21. So it's very difficult for him to cover 12 points, rebounds, and assists in this one.
All right, so that is the official play here. There's movement in some spots, but I have just confirmed -115 and -120 are currently available and available at widely available options. So make sure you're shopping around to play this one. Isaiah Joe under 12.5 PRA later in the day. See if this one is also available on FanDuel. Line's not posted there as of yet for Isaiah Joe, but could come up a little bit later. And with FanDuel, we'll give them a word. Our presenting sponsor here on the Board YouTube channel. The NBA season is heating up, and as you watch your favorite teams and players, check out FanDuel to make every NBA moment even more rewarding with America's #1 sportsbook. It's such an easy interface to use. So many different markets available to you, be it SGPs, X plus points, whether it be 10 plus, 15 plus, 20 plus points, quarter props, live betting options. So many different markets that are posted quickly with fair pricing, and if you do cash in those winners quickly, you can get fast withdrawals and get that money back into your account. And right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Yes, guaranteed. So next time you get a hunch on who is going to win or how many points a player will score, bet on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life. Just visit FanDuel.com/board or use the link in the description, FanDuel.com/board. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 plus and present in select states or candidates in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. For 3 months free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds. Terms of embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. All right, we will jump back into things, get to the next game on the slate. The Cavaliers were the hottest team in the NBA until their recent loss to the hottest team in the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers. Comeback win for the Pacers last time out. Could be more difficult here. Pacers at home as +8 underdogs. Tyrese Halliburton doubtful for this one. What went wrong for the Cavaliers in that loss to the Pacers?
Tyrese Halliburton got injured.
Oh. And then the Pacers won.
Pacers were +28 in the second half without Tyrese Halliburton, led by Andrew Nembhard, who is one of the most underrated guys in the league, and he's playing behind Halliburton and can't do much. He needs to play like really limited role behind Halliburton, but every data you can find, like even you collect on-off numbers, and I'll actually pull that number.
Sure.
It will take me like 10 seconds. I think I saw it. I think I checked it yesterday, and it's crazy when you look at Nembhard numbers. Andrew Nembhard, just say looking at it. So with Nembhard on, the Pacers are +10 net rating, and without Nembhard on the court, they are -5. So it's 15 net rating swing with on-off for Andrew Nembhard, and we could clearly see that in the last game. So like they are just a better team with him out there. When you look at this is also incredible. Tyrese Halliburton with Nembhard off. Tyrese Halliburton on the court and Nembhard off, they are -8. which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at them together, they are plus 13. So overall, yeah, like they are heavily dependent on Nemhard, and now they don't have Halliburton. I think Halliburton will be out. There is no need
He's
to
doubtful,
rush him
so
into
yeah.
the yeah. So the offense is in hands of the Andrew Nemhard. They should look good. Their defense should improve mightily without Halliburton out there. And Nemhard is like I'll rate him highly as defensive player. So yeah, I think they should be good. Like the value of a player that goes into a line shouldn't change. Like they are like if Halliburton was playing, this will probably still be -7. Think sharps know that. I think like I don't know what's the metric, but like value of player, substitute player, there is some metric that most people use when
Value over replacement.
yeah, value over replacement, and this one is like completely like matched. So yeah, that's it on that
Interesting.
part.
Hey, I
Yeah.
appreciate the support for a Canadian player like Andrew Nemhard. I'm glad you like clarified more of the stats. I was going to ask how much of it had to do with Nemhard maybe getting minutes with like second units, but yeah, even with Halliburton in play, um, the
They're
numbers
even
are
better.
better.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, because like he is doing a lot of good stuff on defense.
So for today, we've talked about the game. It seems like you kind of lean towards the Pacers at +8, but no bet there. Player prop wise, are any bets for this game?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the guy we just talked about. Uh, Let me just check some numbers because I as I currently looking at he scored just in second half alone. Andrew Nemhard had 13 points. In the first half, next to Halliburton, he had 6 points, very low usage, low minutes. He was in foul trouble. Uh, yeah, I don't think Halliburton's. I don't think Nemhard should clear the 12 and a half line. Uh, Last season we had. Let me check on the props madness. I actually did. I'm first time going to check this, and I'm opening Andrew Nemhard last season data and the games without Halliburton, and we can see that when he was treated as a starter and got like 28 plus minutes without Halliburton, he averaged 20 points, 20 points 8 in those games. Let me just check like if Siakam maybe was out or Miles
Okay.
Turner, Benedict Maturin. So 2 games with Siakam, Turner, and Maturin, he had 19 and 22 points against decent opponents, against the Suns and against the 76ers. Let me just check without Maturin. 2 playoff games without Halliburton against the Celtics. He scored 32 and 24 points. Yeah, that looks crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
4 games without Halliburton with Turner and Siakam last season, he averaged 24 points a game and did it on the biggest stage possible in playoffs against Celtics, scoring 32 and 24. I think I'm going to take 12 points over 12 points for Andrew Nemhard. It's widely available. I think -120.
Yeah, just looking through here. Yeah, over 12 and a half, -120. Is that where you want to play?
Yeah. So I'll just check some numbers additionally. No Halliburton, Siakam, and Turner are in to just check the usage in those games. Usage was 20, averaging like 24% usage in those games. So I'll look at like a bigger sample size like this season. When his usage was between like 18%, like 18%, 17.5%, and between like 25, like bit conservative. And when you look at the games when he played over like 28 minutes, because he's playing a ton tonight, and games for the line 12 and a half. Yeah, this season with usage 17 to 25% with 28 plus minutes, he was over in 6 out of 8 with 14.6 average. He didn't cover against the Bucks, shooting 4 for 14. Didn't cover against the 76ers, shot 3 from 11. So that's indicator like this usage with those minutes. Like if he shoots average, he should score like 14 to 15 points. So this line should be probably set juice 13 and a half or maybe even 14 and a half. So I think I am really good with Nemhard over 12 and a half.
There we go then. Over 12.5 points for Andrew Nemhard. This one's moved away at quite a few spots, but currently available, widely available at over 12.5, minus 120. That is where we are going to play it. So 2 games in, 2 picks in. If you guys are enjoying the show, if you guys are tailing the picks, please make sure you have hit that like button. Help get us some new viewers with the YouTube algorithm. Does help find us some new viewers. Takes a second a day to hit the like button. Also subscribe for daily shows like this on weekdays. We'll go to the next game here. The Phoenix Suns -5 at home against the Atlanta Hawks. We talked about Phoenix quite extensively and their struggles recently. They have won 3 games in a row. The Atlanta Hawks, 19-19. Just so many players. They've been dealing with some injuries. Jalen Johnson has been out. That's been key for this team. Any thoughts for this game?
Yeah, I think Suns could cover because I kind of feel everything's shaping for Trae Young to be out. Like the lines for the player props, like we can look at you can I think they are up. You can open like player props for like to see like a bit of an indicator that the players could be out. Like look at the lines for Dyson Daniels, DeAndre Hunter, like like
20 for DeAndre
20.
Hunter.
Yeah, and Jason Daniels was 15 and a half. Like it's move of air, like because they are just even if Trae Young is out, like 15 and a half for Dyson Daniels is a lot. And they said the lines like Trae Young is not playing. So that could be an indicator that maybe there's a bigger chance that he is out.
Okay.
If he is out and Jalen Johnson is out, there is no one to handle the ball for the Hawks, and they are in deep trouble. And Suns are playing better and doing well lately. Better, like no Nurkic always means your team is going to improve. So getting rid of Nurkic and Hawks being down 2 best players is a lean towards the Hawks, toward the Suns, and I don't want to touch this game with this.
All right, pal. Fair enough then. Sounds like a bit of a lean towards the Suns on the spread then, because if Trae Young is confirmed out, that line should swing a little bit there. And it looks like Trae Young could miss that game. But we'll move to the next game. The Chicago Bulls, 1.5-point favorites at home against the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans, still in the basement of the NBA, 8-32 in the season. Anytime somebody comes back, another player goes out. Just so many injuries for this team. The Bulls, I mean, they've had some good individual moments here. 18-21. It's probably not going to be that serious of a season. They could sneak into the play-in tournament, but in this game in particular, how do you see it going down?
Also, we can just go to the lines and just comment stuff. I think the line for Lavin is incredibly adjusted, and I think you'll see yourself never in the first look. Finally, where it should be.
Woo,
Yeah.
27.
Yeah. He's been absolutely killing lately, and for no surprise there. They're playing terrible defensive team. Like Pelicans just can't do anything, and I think Herb Jones is out as well. So who guards? Who will guard Zach LaVine? Like they like either it's a team effort, like everyone is guarding him, or that he will just drop bomb at them. Like they have like without Herb Jones, and he's out for the rest of the season. I don't think he's coming back. It says like he's out, expected to be back in April.
Yeah.
Why should he be away? Yeah, he's out for the season, which is unfortunate because now they are kind of healthy with Zion being back and DeJounte, CJ, Trey Murphy. Like DeJounte, CJ, Trey Murphy, Zion is decent. But yeah, other team, Zach LaVine. Yeah, I'm just trying to think who will guard Zach LaVine. Probably DeJounte Murray, right? Like they don't have anyone else. Trey Murphy. Maybe like when you look at this starting lineup, who is the best defensive player? Like Trey Murphy. Like DeJounte overrated, CJ never good, Trey Murphy I would say average,
Yeah,
Zion below average, Missy is decent,
this is a
but
good defender.
yeah, but he's a bit undersized, so I don't think he can match up with Vucevic. And like if Vucevic is attacking him in the post, you need to double.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, so you are not good. Like he's good, like rim protector and helping, but undersized. So yeah, they are going to get this game could be like a lot of points. Like you can see like 250 in this one. Um, but props wise, I like Lavin matchup, but 27 is rough. Like that is a good line.
yeah.
That is a good line.
Comment here from Jonathan saying Ayo Dosunmu is questionable, so if he comes back, it could take away points from Levine. But if he comes back, it could lower Levine's line. That's what I kind of see from that. 27.5 is a lot.
Yeah, Ayo is a good player, really big hustle guy, glue guy that doesn't shoot so much, and that actually helps Lavin. Like if he's back and they move the line, like that actually helps Lavin.
Okay.
But lately they've been playing a ton of Lonzo Ball. That also helps like a ton to Zach Lavin. Lonzo doesn't take any shots,
Yeah.
unless it's a wide open three. He's pacing the floor and he's playmaking decently. So yeah, that's another thing. If Kobe White is ruled in, I think Lavin line could be back to 25 and a half or 26. Like we'll see, but Kobe White being out could help Lavin dramatically. Like yeah, Kobe is that guy that doesn't. He loves to shoot, and he's not very efficient. He had a great season last year, but this year it's back to being Kobe White. Yeah, and I honestly think it's a fluke.
Back to being Kobe White. That's
Yeah,
a very mean way to describe himself.
yeah,
But
it's true. Yeah, I mean it's not like we have like this is crazy, but like he's shooting 43% from career and 36.9 points from three. He is currently at 43% and like he is completely like to one single digit of efficiency. He's there.
Career.
Yeah, and I think Kobe White is a good six man. Like he comes in, he takes shot, he disrupts stuff, and that's a good role for Kobe White. But do I think he's a starter? Hell no. Like
notably though, his as much as his career efficiency numbers, he's at his career efficiency numbers this season. His points are higher than what is standard for him. So not last year, but mostly standard. So at least he scaled up his points while keeping the same efficiency, whereas most players scale up their points and efficiency drops. So that's good. But I agree. As a start, like this is probably not a starter on a really good team.
The thing he improved the most is getting to the line. Like he throughout the first four seasons was getting to the line like 2 free throws a game per 36. Now he's up to 3.5. That's huge. That's the only way. Like that's the thing he improved the most. Like that's the thing that improved his true shooting percentage.
Yeah,
true shooting percentage went up this season to 58%. And with the same percentages, it was 55 for career. So 58 is really good, especially for a six-man. Like that's just you can't guard him. It's either he makes shots or not, and you love that for a six-man. But we can move from to the next game. Talking a bit too much here.
Yeah. Sacramento away at Milwaukee. Milwaukee favored by 2. Sacramento. What do you make of this win streak? Because heavily criticized for firing Mike Brown. Then since then they lost to the Lakers. I believe. Sorry, if I'm getting this correct, they lost to the Lakers in. Oh no, that's the game that got Mike Brown fired. Sorry, I think they lost to the Pacers and Pistons and have won. Oh, I'm all over the place. Okay, they lost to the Lakers, then have won 7 games in a row. That's what it is. They played the Lakers 3 times recently. So the Pistons game got Mike Brown fired. They lost to the Lakers and then. Since then, I've won 7 in a row. I finally got it correct. What do you make of this win streak? Because they were heavily criticized for firing Mike Brown. You and me did criticize them as well. But now they've won 7 in a row, including a 17-point win over the Celtics in a game they didn't have De'Aaron Fox.
I will say this. First off, they won against Dallas without Kyrie and Doncic.
Yeah.
Then they won against the 76ers, one game, one possession game without Embiid. Then they won against Memphis, one possession game without Ja Morant. Then they blow out Golden State Warriors and Miami, who are really struggling lately. Then they beat barely Kings, Bulls. Uh, that's like
Yeah.
okay, and they completely demolished Boston Celtics. Like that's a great like every win is a good win. Like there is no like question about it. But like these six are kind of I think they are almost favorites in every single one of them. Like not against Memphis, it was like even, but against Boston away, that's a big time win.
Yeah.
So the thing that's improved is obvious. Like their defense against Boston was like 98. They allow them 98 offensive rating that will be leading the league. Like so many games they won with defense, and how they won with defense, playing Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray in big minutes, and yeah, the thing I've mentioned about the thing I mentioned about Nemhard, I'll just check the same thing for Keon Ellis. I think it's right there. Uh, for Keon Ellis for the Kings, I'll just check the numbers and it will be so. Keon Ellis, it's interesting because they played 1,000 minutes without him on the floor and 800 minutes with him on the floor, so it's almost even. With 1,000 minutes with him off the floor, their net rating is -2. With him on the floor, it's 10 plus 10. So it's like 12 net rating swing with Keon Ellis off and on the floor
Yeah.
because they need defense. They need defense, and he is their best defensive guy. And with Keegan Murray, so
And he
when you
can
have a
shoot.
lot of yeah, and when you have a lot of Keegan Murray who can shoot and a lot of Keon Ellis who can shoot and defend, you improving drastically. And they went away from DeMar DeRozan centric offense back to the playing through Sabonis, and like yeah, they improved like two biggest fails of this team. And yeah, of course they are going to improve and beat some teams without their best players, but I didn't expect them to beat Boston Celtics. So I need to give them credit when credit is due. Like things are changing, they are kind of learning from their mistakes, or I don't know how to even say it, but if they continue playing two good shooters and good defensive guys all the time in the rotation, yeah, they can win some games.
hmm I do agree that the win streak, I don't want to take away from a win streak because 7 games is always going to
Yeah.
be impressive. It is not the most impressive catalog of teams that they have beaten in that streak, but 7 games in a row is 7 games in a row. Milwaukee haven't been super impressive themselves lately, 5-5 in their last 10, -2 here. Any player prop ideas for this game? Any conversations on the game you want to touch on?
Actually, we can we can go just to the lines. I don't have anything on this game. Honestly, like Middleton is out, and I don't know how to rate that for this team. Who is going to play? Like we don't know. Like they have Gary Trent Jr., Taurean Prince, AJ Brown. Like who is going to step up with the minutes? Who I think they are playing them, and then who is getting hot? That guy is playing. So that's a wild guess. Damian Lillard line is a bit too high for a team that will probably send some doubles. Giannis 32.5 against best transition defense and best stream defense is. I still can bet under because it's Kings.
I think he's
Uh,
question. If I'm not mistaken, Giannis is also questionable here.
I think he is probable. Yeah, he has a tag, but he's probable.
Probable. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Chris Middleton is ruled out. On the other side, they have Monk questionable, which is huge because he's a really important player for them. Uh, yeah. No bets for this one. I don't. I need to. I should have rewatched the game against the Knicks and look at how Branson killed them because a couple of days earlier, quickly couldn't get a bucket against the Bucks. Uh, I expected them to play drop carries. So they didn't do that much. Then Branson. I was like looking into Branson. Then remember, like in my head, like quickly couldn't do much. Oh, I won't do. I won't bet Branson over. Then Branson's cleared this in the first half, which is absurd. So I don't know about Fox in this one. I think the line set higher because they expect Monk to be out. Uh, if a Monk is out, this is the Rosen game. Like 19 and a half against drop coverage. This is the Demar game if Monk is out. So I'll be like 19 and a half is not much uh, with Monk possibility of being out. So if it's 50-50 with Monk being out and with Monk playing, which I think it is, with Monk out, that could be like 70%. So yeah, but no bets, just commenting stuff.
We'll go to the Denver game against the Dallas Mavericks then. Denver favored by 3.5 points in this one. Dallas been struggling with injuries. They're still treading water, which is good. Denver, what do you make of the Russell Westbrook? We'll call it a bit of a resurgence. He's been playing extremely well recently. There are definitely some conversations about him just being a starter for the rest of the season. Aaron Gordon's been came off the bench last game as he's coming back from injury. You imagine he has to go back into starting five, but does Westbrook stay in the starting five at the expense of Christian Brown?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think that's the way. I think that's the way. Uh, you just add more size. Like now, like you move Michael Porter Jr. to a three spot. You insert Aaron Gordon at the four, and you move out Brown. So you substitute Brown, who is a good guy for his size, but you add Aaron Gordon, and now you have more size. Well, movement wise, defensively wise, you are probably getting even better. So I don't think that's lost. They lost anything there. It's difficult a bit about spacing with Westbrook and Gordon on the court, uh, but it's Jokic.
Yeah,
So yeah. So I don't think. Yeah, like Jokic is out there still. So
that's the difference. I
I'm.
mean, when anyone plays with Jokic, like Westbrook for the instance, they're gonna get a bump, and he's been doing really well with it here.
Give and go, man. Like they they have been destroying teams with give and goes. Like uh, Jokic post up, Russell just pass him and then just like in soccer, like football, like uh, the false movement. I don't know how do you call it here. Like you just go there and like to trick your players. Like I
Yeah,
don't know what's the
like
term.
a body feint, a body feint.
Yeah, but yeah, you do, and Westbrook is doing that on the basketball court. Like he's just like going like to do a handoff, and then he cuts to the rim, and Jokic finds him every single time, and it's a layup. And he's so explosive and quick. Like that's his game. He needs to go for the layups and no 3-point shots and crazy mid ranges. That's whenever he tries to like pull up shoot, I like, damn, Russ, that's not your game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he stays away from that, if he stays away from the shooting like that, he's very effective. He's a cutter, does the best passer on the planet, passing to him on those cuts. He's bringing energy right now. They're really starting to find their flow here. I'm not sure if I'd prioritize Westbrook over a young player like Christian Brown, who been playing pretty well this season, but I can see the decision. But for this game in particular, yeah, go ahead.
I would say
let's
like
this.
I can't see honestly like a way for Christian Brown to cause that's causing anything to him. Like he'll move to the bench and he'll still end up playing 26 to 28 minutes because like he's their sixth guy. They don't have seven guy, like they have six guy. So they're moving him to the bench, but his minutes will drop like 4 minutes, and I don't know if honestly if that's doing anything to his development. Honestly, like maybe
Okay.
a bit
Fair
even
enough.
more responsibility with minutes without Jokic out there. Like maybe even that helps him like a bit to develop some other stuff than like just transition layups and wide open spot up threes. Yeah, because he isn't doing anything besides those two. Like on offense, he's either cutting, staying wide open for in the corner for wide open threes, and he finished in transition like when Jokic grabs the rebound and throws the half like entire court pass to the Brown. He's great at doing those things, and I think that's enough for him to be a good player long term in the NBA. But maybe he can develop something from the bench to add on it. I mean, we can also look to the Pros Madness to show the Russell Westbrook since over the last month. Uh, Numbers are just off the charts. Like, this is unbelievable, honestly. Like, if you take a look, like he averaged 17 points, 7.5 assists, and 7.2 rebounds. That's
Yeah.
17, 7, and 7. Like 17, 7, and 7 for Russell Westbrook in 2025. Needs to be praised. Like, and look at the numbers he's scoring. Like last 4 games, like 26 against Boston, like one of the top 5 defensive teams in the league. 19 against the Clippers, again top 5 defensive teams in the league. 25 against the Nets, still great, but not a great defense. And then last game against the Dallas was a huge part of them coming back. I think they were down like almost 20 points at some point, and they came back and won the game by 11. And Russ was just huge in that run, and he ended up 21 points. Like, man, like 4 straight games with 19 plus points for Russell Westbrook in 2005 after disastrous season last year and season before. Like, yeah.
For this game, any bets, or should we go to the last game we got?
I'll check something on Jokic. Assist-wise, numbers are. What's the price for Jokic to hit triple-double?
Jokic triple-double on FanDuel is plus 105.
Damn. Can you check the market? Like, I'm not.
With all due respect, I feel like we might find better elsewhere. If not, I'll bite my tongue a bit. But
someone in the chat mentioned plus 300. Like, where did you do? Like,
plus,
if you see, can you send me that number so I bet my
Drosko asked 3.0, which is plus 200, which is also crazy. But Drosko asked, if you've got plus 200, I tell you what, you've got a really good bet there. Plus 140 is the best in market right now that I'm aware of.
So
not
I
counting
have some guys,
offshores and everything.
I have some guys getting down for me, and I was able to get at minus like 3 hours, like earlier today, on over 8.5 minus 120, which was crazy. And when I saw that line, I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" So yeah, I bet over on assist at 8.5. But if I'm getting plus 200 on triple-double, that could be close to that line that I've bet on, and that line is gone. But you have plus 200. That's, I don't know what will be my bet size on it, but it will be more than my average bet for sure. For sure.
So whenever I'm just looking at the regulated market. Plus 140 is the best available here that I see.
And I will take that as well.
Right.
I'm not saying that that's an official bet because I think it's not widely available for us.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to call it widely available, but plus 140 exists. And isn't so most complicated to find. So for your own betting, consider that one. But for show purposes, I think we're ready to move on to the final game.
I'll just make like one comment for people that's finding. If you can find my plus 140, bet it straight away. My plus 130, I think it's still good for this one. If you can find plus 200 like Draško, you should bet double amount of your standard units. At least.
Okay. Well, there you have it. We can go to the final game here. Brooklyn at the Portland Trailblazers. Brooklyn have done a fantastic job of making themselves worse. They've lost. They were winning games, and management said, well, hang on. We're not supposed to do that. They traded away Schroeder. Cam Johnson got injured, which has kind of helped them lose games as well. They've lost 5 in a row. Portland, not quite at that point yet where they're like trying to be bad, I wouldn't say, but they're 13-25. So not the most exciting matchup here, but Portland's favored by 6 points. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I think these teams are even. If TLO and Cam Johnson are playing, like
That's the
Can you
thing.
tell me I'm wrong? Yeah.
No.
Can I like? I'll just go through the lineups. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Simons. Maybe slightly on the Simon size, but not much. If you're looking at like Shadon Sharp, Cam Johnson, I will still win Cam Johnson. Like I think the value of a player is higher than Shadon Sharp. Still, like obviously ceiling is much higher for Shadon Sharp, but at the moment I will take slightly Cam Johnson. Then we have Keon Johnson and Taumani Kamara. I would say Taumani is better. Uh,
By a lot. Like
by a lot. Yeah. But if I would probably need to compare Tomani Kamara to Ben Simmons when they are like defensive
okay.
guys,
Yeah.
and Tomani Kamara is slightly better.
Yes.
I would say like he can
Mhm.
shoot. And on the 5, it's Claxton against Aiton. It's Claxton all day. Like that one, this isn't even close. Uh, and that's it. Like so, you get pretty even teams. And Avdia is also questionable, and if he's out, he's a big player for these Blazers. So yeah, I think slightly Portland, but not by 6. But it makes sense with all these guys questionable for the Nets to be 6. If they are all in, that will drop to like minus 2.5.
Right.
Where it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. If we get those guys in, big difference to this one. Would the question marks on this? Is there any bet you're looking at?
This is absolutely amazing matchup for Noah Clowney back again. The line is set like these players are out, which I don't know what to say about. But if you have like D'Angelo Russell ruled in and Cam Johnson ruled out and Claxton ruled in, for example, getting Noah Clowney over 11.5, 12.5 should be a decent bet. Ben Simmons also helps Noah Clowney as well. So from everyone, like Russell helps Noah Clowney. Clowney in, Claxton in helps Noah Clowney. Ben Simmons in helps Noah Clowney. Cameron Johnson in doesn't help. Like takes away a huge amount of usage for Clowney. So that's one spot I'm kind of looking at. On the other side, don't like Simons 23.5 at all. Shaden Sharp the same thing. Avdia same thing. Aiton, fuck Aiton. And Tomani Kamara, it's 10.5 a bit reach if Avdia is rolled in. So yeah, no bets on this one. But I just want to like go through everything, like to comment stuff.
Of course. So no bets here. That will pretty much do it for the show today. Well, as we do this is that'll get us to the slate, but we also have some questions here. We are not
a ton of questions
yet. We have quite a few today as well. We'll start off with Drosko again, who asked about Jokic at plus 200, but plus 140 is what we found, and it's also a good bet. So it worked out. But how about this? Maxey under 26.5 points at about minus 115 odds. What is the bottom line on Maxey you'd recommend for under?
Thanks, Ryan. I would say that I like the under. Not like love it. I like the under. There is a chance for a blowout in this one. The 76ers suck without Embiid. Maxi isn't playing like great this season. Like he's playing not as he's used to. I would say like when you look at the Maxi last season or the season before, like this season, efficiency plummeted. I think I'll just open up some data to so I'm not talking out my ass, but yeah, he is 33% from 3, and that's matching the eye test. I actually didn't check before speaking on it, but it's so obvious that he needs to do so much on offense without Embiid, and he's just not efficient. In doing so, it honestly plummeted, and yeah, like not being good. So against the Thunder with possible blowout chance and be with them completely taking out Maxi, I will be so shocked if Thunder are not coming into this game. Let's take away Maxi completely out of this game, because supporting cast, dude, like we have supporting cast for Tamaxi this game is Caleb Martin, Yabusele, Eric Gordon, Ricky Council, Kelly Oubre, and Paul George, who can't make a bucket to save his life. A really washed up version of Paul George. So blowout possible, helps the under. Poor shooting with being efficiency being down this season helps the under. Them taking him out completely out of the game, like so many ways this could win. So yeah, I like the under on Maxi.
Okay, so we can keep moving here then. Some other questions. Reminder to like the show if you haven't done so already. You were at 25 likes last I checked on YouTube, 66 people watching. Let's bump it up. Try to get to 40 likes while we're still live today. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. Jonathan in chat asked about Onyeka Okongwu over 2.5 assists.
I'm really caught with that. I don't think I ever looked into Onyeka
Okongwu assists.
Yeah.
Well, there might be something.
Yeah, I'll look on the spot. Like, let me see. So there must be some huge win rate because that's asked on the show. Yeah,
Exactly.
of course. Yeah,
Okay.
he won 5 in a row. Potential assist 5, 2, 0, 4, 2. Looking at potential assist, this is not a great play. But let's check this. Games without Jalen Johnson. 4 in a row. Against the head potential assist in every single one of these. I will need to check like NBA data on his touches and his passes and how many. Yeah. I won't do it on the spot. It will take like 5 minutes. But I will look into the passing, like how many, like comparing the number of passes he had before. That's an outline like 2.5. Like he is at 1.5 at even money on both sides. Like not even, but minus 115 both sides. So I don't know what's with 2.5 assists when it's 1.5 widely available. Yeah. Yeah. What volume issue?
It sounds okay to me. I'm not sure.
I'm like a bit quiet. I need to maybe.
Unless
Yeah,
I'm cutting
these
it
guys.
loud.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, over 1.5
see.
assists. That was supposed to be the question.
Yeah, so I will go and look, like compare like number of how many touches he has per game and how many passes he makes per game over the last 4 without Jalen Johnson, and what were the numbers prior to Jalen Johnson being rolled out. If you see huge discrepancy towards getting more touches now, that could be a good over.
All right. There we go. We can move to the next one then here. That Persian guy asked about Gary Trent over 8.5 points at minus 130, suggesting there's a good hit rate when Middleton's out and Giannis and Lillard are in.
They are playing. I think that's a decent matchup for him. Kings allow the most spot up in the league. I'll check it on the spot. Is it 8.5? Like that's a 8.5 or 3-point shooter is huge difference compared to the 9.5. Yeah. They are playing the team that allows the most spot up, and he's only making spot up. That's how he scores. And he scores 50% of his points above the break 3. And from the corners, Kings allow probably like they allow 10th most threes and 24th most above the break threes. And you take a look at the similar players, they crash against the Kings, which makes sense. Like similar players are players who score most of his points via spot up and catch and shoot and most threes, and they score well against team that allows spot up. Makes complete sense. So yeah, I lean over.
All right. Lean towards the over there. Pips mentions how important it is to get a shooter at 8.5 rather than 9.5, because if you make 3 threes, you go over 8.5. But you still need another bucket if you're on the 9.5 in theory, if you're taking a lot of threes there. Next play here, James Papa asked about Anthony Simons under 23.5 points at minus 115.
They are leading much into playing Klingon, and he doesn't shoot, and he sets way better screens than DeAndre Ayton. That's big for that's big for
Right.
Simons, and he's a lob threat way better than Ayton. So that helps. Ayton is questionable. Avdia is questionable as well. Matchup is really difficult for on ball scorers, but I think he could get there just by pure volume. So lean under, but volume could be insane. He could end up shooting 25 times. So nothing for this one.
Okay. I think we've got two more here. We have three more now. We'll cut off of these three more. Jonathan A again asked about Derek Lively over 2.5 assists. So another big with assists for Jonathan. Let's see how this works.
Yeah. This looks great. This one something I looked into last game against Denver. He completely killed them off the short roll. He had 8 assists on 6 potential, which is like when you passing to the cutters for a dunk layup, you won't end up. Most of your potential assists will translate to being an assist. In the games without Luka Doncic and with Clay in, he averaged 3.3 assists, and it's over in 7 out of the 10. But the market is like minus 170 on this line. If you have minus 170, man, don't bet it.
All right.
I would just say like the variance is too big for bigs on assists. That minus 170 or minus 160 is, I don't think it's ever a good bet. It's not ever. Like they could be wrong lines, but this is not the one.
All right, fair enough there. Two more to go. Green Bean jumps in and asks about Vucevic over on points.
If it's 15 and a half, it's over. If it's 20 and a half, it's under. Like, it's 17 and a half, I think, and 18 and a half. On 17 and a half, I lean over. On 18 and a half, I don't like it. So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have the numbers? Like, I didn't, I can check. I think it's 17 and a half and 18 and a half. Like, right?
I'll double check. 17 and a half, heavy juice. Like 135 for 17 and a half. Over 18 and a half is over 18 and a half is minus 125 at FanDuel. Other spots, it's a little bit lower on 18 and a half. So, it actually might be okay if you're like in the minus 130 range on 17 and a half price wise, but heavy juice, of course, there.
Yeah, if Kobe White is ruled in, this could move back to 17 and a half, and then I kind of like it. The thing is, as I said, he will molest Missy down there, so they will send help. If they are sending doubles to Vucevic, he can do shit. Like, yeah, he is heavily dependent on single coverage.
All right, and last one we'll have here, that Persian guy again asked about Kevin Durant over 4.5 assists at plus 110. Seems to be hitting over regularly with Nurkic out and Beal plus Booker in.
Yeah, Hawks are always a good. Like when you look at the assist when you look at the Hawks matchup, that's absolutely amazing always. Last game against the Hawks, 7 assists and 10 potential assists, getting 1 plus 110. Like 10 potential assists, no data. 10 potential assists. Let me just check with Bill moving to the bench could also help these numbers. So last, how many is this? Like last 8 games with both Booker and Bill, he's over this line in 7 out of 8 with 5.6 average. And you are getting plus money, and he already had 7 against the Hawks on 10 potential assists in the same matchup with the same team. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, he when you look at these games, every single one of these is plus matchup for the assist, and he's now playing again plus matchup for the assist. If you take a look at the players against recently against the Hawks, Tatum with 9 and 8, Draymond Green with 9, LeBron James 11, Aaron Gordon 6, Scotty Barnes with 5, the only under of any players that create. So these numbers look really good for KD. So I definitely like the over.
Okay. So perhaps a good spot there. Kevin Durant over 4.5 assists. That'll do it for the show today. As a reminder, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you have hit that like button. It does make a huge difference to helping grow the channel. It makes it easier for us to keep producing content like this here on the Board YouTube channel. And also make sure you're subscribed. If you're new to the channel, we have shows every weekday morning here at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time, as long as there are NBA games to discuss. And we had plenty today. We have plenty tomorrow and plenty for the rest of the week. So stay tuned for more by also hitting that notification bell. Here is a recap of the 2 plays for today's show. We had in the Oklahoma City game against the Philadelphia 76ers, Isaiah Joe under 12.5 points, which was, under 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists, which was minus 120 odds there. And then our second play, Cleveland at Indiana, Andrew Nembhard over 12.5 points. It's been profitable shows. 6 of the last 7. We're in the green on the season. Let's keep it going. Let's have a good run for the rest of the year. Let's make it another incredibly profitable season, and we hope to do it with you guys right by our side. We'll see you again next time for more from Pick and Roll presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Thanks.